Welcome to another Rooted and Raw. All right, so we are waving flags because it is about to be Independence Day. The 4th of July is upon us.
It is.
And so we all decided that we was going to dress in red, white, and blue gear to represent Independence Day. So
and Flora got us our little set dress in with our Americana chickens.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. And all the red and white and blue floral situation going on. So thank you, Flora, for making our set very festive for us.
Yes.
All right, so before we get started, we're going to go around and say who's here. But before we do that, Stephanie is here because I'm going to start there so I don't forget.
Whatever works.
Say hi, Stephanie. Hi, guys. All right.
In the house. Oh, there we go.
And then, and now you can go ahead.
All right. Well, happy 4th of July, podcast King and Queens. This is Flora.
Let your flags fly. It's Jamie.
You got Sharita in the building.
And it's time for a cookout. It's D.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Except we're not doing one of those for 4th of July.
Stop it.
Speaking of which, that is our icebreaker for today. What is your 4th of July plans this year? Let's start with Steph. You got plans?
I haven't thought of any yet, but probably barbecue with the family, something laid back.
I'm
like
coming
just
to your
the
house.
family here, or like your parents coming over?
I don't know. We'll probably invite them over.
Yeah.
If they don't have plans, but we might blow up the pool, have the kids play out in the backyard.
Yeah.
That works.
I don't know if y'all can hear her, but it sounds like they're going to have your typical family barbecue. We're going to blow up the pool. We're going to let the kids play.
No, don't blow up the pool.
Whoa.
Oh. I can see how that could be challenging, especially since we're talking about Independence Day, about blowing stuff up. Let's not do that.
Only aliens.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'm inviting myself. I will be at Stephanie's. I'm telling you now.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
What you got?
So we're actually gonna be going to my kid's dad's house. He's got a new place. He's got a new barbecue he wants to test out. Look, as long as I'm not cooking, I'm good.
Hey,
I like that part. As long as I'm not cooking. All right. So we are actually headed out of town to Tennessee to see our boys. We are staying in a newly renovated hotel in downtown Clarksville, Tennessee, overlooking the Cumberland River. And that's beautiful because the city does like huge fireworks displays on the river at 4th of July. So the boys will come hang out with us and we won't be in the heat to watch the fireworks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Haven't seen my baby since Christmas. So I'm excited.
So what I want to do and what I'm going to be doing are two totally different things.
Okay.
What I
That's
want
life.
to do is have a big old cookout. And I mean, all the friends, all our kids, like the families just get together. Big old cookout, some kickballs, something, just having a good old time with
She's
fireworks.
trying to have Medea's family reunion up in here.
Listen, I'm all
here for it.
Look, we
this.
can plan it for
I was
next
about to
year.
say,
Yes.
well, why we gotta wait till next year? Why gotta be a holiday for us to do that?
Like,
Well,
That
that's
part.
Why can't we just-
But it's got to be in August.
Yeah,
please.
like we could actually do that for the kids. Go
Back to school.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Come
We've
on.
been set free from you. Bye.
And amen.
it's time to go.
And amen. Because for all of y'all who don't know, some of us want our kids to just go off and go to school like they're supposed to.
But
So-
what I will be doing
Okay.
is probably going downtown to watch the fireworks that they set off at the baseball stadium because, I mean, it's something for us to do.
Yeah.
Are the fireworks at the baseball stadium for 4th of July any different from the ones they do every single Friday?
it's a lot longer.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
They
It's a
set
lot.
off fireworks
Yeah.
every Friday. At
So
the
it's a
stadium.
lot
I'm not
longer.
mad.
They're a
I'm
lot
not either.
bigger. Like
The
it's
patriotic music going on.
Okay,
It's
so yes,
fun.
it's different.
Yeah.
It sounds
Totally
different.
different, yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
But I like fireworks, so
I do
Yes.
too.
So,
But
yeah.
I'm just like, if you're going to do it every Friday when 4th of July comes around, it better be extensive.
Oh, it
Well,
Because
and-
it's pretty dope on Friday
Yeah.
when
Well,
they do it.
And I would imagine it would be different because fireworks every Friday night, that's the Woodpeckers organization
Yeah.
handling those versus the city of Fayetteville.
Oh,
like
this is the
contracted.
city
Yeah,
of
this is the
Fayetteville.
city.
It's
Like
not the Woodpeckers.
It's not the Woodpeckers. No, it's
Okay.
the city's firework display. So look here, city of Fayetteville, y'all better
Yeah.
have it
Y'all
together
better
and do
come
better
bring
than the
it.
Woodpeckers, please.
Yeah,
Also-
the woodpeckers do it every differently too, because we've even gone one previously with the Harry Potter theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Star
Speaking of
Wars and
which,
stuff.
they have one we need to buy the tickets for because they have one, their Harry Potter one this year. They're giving out a free jersey for your house.
What? Question though, do they have their house colors correct?
I don't even care. It's
Because
free.
you
I ain't
have
gotta pay
you
for
no,
it.
but you have heard my rant.
Yes.
About the Fayetteville Marksmen and what they done did for their Wizarding
But
Night.
in their in all fairness, they just went off based off of the movie instead of the books. You got to understand, not everybody read the book.
Deandra, we all know that I prefer the books to the movies.
They don't.
So
They,
if you gonna do it,
we
do it
all know that.
right.
The marksmen didn't know. They didn't get the memo.
But they got it right the previous year. That's the thing.
Oh, well, maybe they
So-
decided they wanted to do both books and movies. I don't know. I ain't got
No,
nothing.
look,
All I know
Marksman.
is the woodpeckers are giving away. So the difference between the marksmen and the woodpeckers is the marksmen, you had to buy theirs. The woodpeckers, they're actually giving it away at the door. So I'm planning on being in line like 2 hours beforehand because I am getting me a Gryffindor jersey.
We'll definitely have to
Do-
plan
what
this
are the
after
dates?
the
Yeah, I
after the
need-
podcast.
Yeah,
we
after
need to take a
podcast
look
is over.
into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for
'Cause-
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Y'all know what my calendar's like, so I need the dates to know.
We'll find somebody who can go in your place
and give me a
and
Ravenclaw.
give you a Ravenclaw.
Yep, y'all.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
So my plans are not complete yet. I tip for the past 3 years, I want to say 2 to 3 years, I've gone to the Klingelsmiths for 4th of July, and their cul-de-sac, people on their cul-de-sac, they tend to have a whole event. So for the past couple of years, I've went over there, and there's been lots of food,
Hijinks,
lots
shenanigans.
Yep. Just lots of shenanigans. Let's
And
just put it like
fireworks.
this. And fireworks. They do fireworks. So speaking of which, what's y'all biggest memory on fireworks? Did y'all do fireworks growing up?
Oh yeah.
What's your biggest memory? Well, you know.
Well, I can say my biggest memory was when I was here. We went to see the fireworks at Fort Bragg, and so we were so like right up under it as they were shooting them off. They were literally falling on us.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, okay, it's time to back it on up.
Yep.
I mean, because it was literally falling, like still ambers
thing over like
falling.
juvenile.
I'm like, oh yeah, we got to
It's
move
funny
on
that
back.
you say that because my top fireworks show is actually from Fort Benning, Georgia.
Come
Their
on, Fort
4th
Benning,
of-
Georgia.
Fort Benning, Georgia, 4th of July fireworks show. Like, it was absolutely amazing. It was long. I'm talking about almost half an hour. If that, like, it was a
on.
long
Yeah.
show. Had amazing music in the background. Like, it I thought I was like in Disneyland or something. Like, it was so amazing. That is the best fireworks for 4th of July that I have ever seen.
I love that.
So let's see. I grew up on Fort Jackson. So we would, in the field where they would do fireworks was like 5 minutes from our house. So we would walk to the field and we would like blankets and watch and stuff and then walk home and not have to deal with all the traffic. So those are just
Amen.
great memories. But Fort Irwin, California and Fort Campbell, Kentucky have really good shows, or at least they did. I believe it was Fort Campbell's show that was the first time I saw like actual shapes like, because, in the movies, they do, like, the CGI and they make the flowers and stuff. But no, like, they actually did it. And I don't understand all of the science that makes fireworks happen. But,
Right.
like, the way they would have to pack all of the different pellets to get the colors and shit, it was amazing. And then, like, my top horror story with fireworks
snap.
is the time that the bottle that was holding the bottle rocket fell over and it boopshed in my face.
Oh,
Like I didn't get hurt or anything, and it didn't like right here, but it was definitely very, very close.
Oh my word!
It was very, very scary, but we still kept doing fire. It was like if my dad set it off,
yeah,
and like
for
I said,
sure.
it fell over. I was at a safe distance, but anyway, but I still love fireworks.
but this is why you have to be in a safe distance.
Yes,
So take precaution.
yeah.
y'all
Bottle
take
rockets don't go in your hand; they go in a bottle.
Oh dang! Because I was sure about to say we used to throw the bottle rockets. We sure did. We was ratchet little heathens.
To everyone,
It just
please
is what
stay
it
safe.
is. Don't do
Please
that.
be safe. Please
do
be
not
safe.
try this at home.
Right.
And do not shoot fireworks off at 2:00 in the morning.
Do
Because people be
not.
trying to sleep.
Also, can y'all wait till the 4th of July and not do it for a whole week and a half leading up?
Just because you can buy the
Because,
fireworks don't mean you gotta
listen,
shoot them.
It's so annoying. Y'all know that's why it rains so much on 4th of July, because you jokers is polluting the atmosphere beforehand. Stop it.
Like let
Stop it.
let the Battle of Fayetteville like lie until
God,
time.
it's so annoying. Jeez Louise. It's like a week and a half out and y'all already, like, y'all ain't even got enough money to have that many daggum.
Because they be going out to South
Ma'am.
Carolina to get those big fireworks. That's why.
Yep.
Take
Lord
that
have
trip.
And on our
Mercy.
next episode of Rooted in Rock.
Yes.
I guess my
Alrighty.
biggest memory is so Fort Benning, Georgia, actually, and it wasn't the fireworks. It was the year that me and Daryl, who is now my husband, we were really good friends. He's like one of my best friends, and we took, because I had Aiden, he had Jamie, and so we got together to take our kids to see the fireworks. Fort Benning, Georgia, together, just as friends. And while we're on the way there, I am complaining about how I don't have a boyfriend and why I can't get a date. And I'm doing all these things, ranting and raving to the bestie. And he's like, all right, dang, I'll take you on a date. And I'm like, don't I want to go on a date with you? And he was like, well, beggars can't be choosy.
Yeah, Daryl for the win.
Come on, brother.
And I'm like, ain't nobody begging.
Daryl for the win.
Yeah, so that's actually that day was, we actually
Was the turning point.
That was the turning point. Like I was like, all right, well, this would be like a test date. But you gotta, but you
pre-test.
But you
Did it
gotta
come with the
do-
money back guarantee?
I was like, but you gotta conceal all your little girlfriends. And he's like, you gotta conceal all your boyfriends. I was like, clearly, I ain't got no boyfriend.
Did you not pay attention to this 5-minute
You
rant I
missed-
just had
you
about
missed
not
the fact
having
that you
one?
taking me on a pity date because I ain't got no boyfriend.
You know it wasn't a pity date. He was always liking you.
Probably because he
You just gave him the
volunteered a little
opening.
too
That's what I was
fast.
You gave him the opening.
He volunteered.
He already had the
saw the
feelings
opportunity
for
and took
sure.
it.
It's okay, Daryl. You can be honest.
Yeah.
We love you. Safe
Yeah.
space.
So a week later, we went on our first date, and we've been together ever since.
I love that.
And
I
so
love
4th
that.
of July is epically special for me.
Awesome.
All right, enough of that. We're going to pull our topic. I got all this stuff over here. This is great. Tell me, get your life together, girl. What you got all this stuff on? Okay. You
come on,
only
Sharita.
understand why we laughing if you
Check out
watch
last
the-
week's podcast.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do now.
Y'all ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Much love. Much love. Oh.
Wait.
All right, now I'm confused.
right.
My first thought process was, didn't we do this one already? But we didn't. And
It's the laugh.
Yeah. Is it incredulity? Is it surprise?
well,
Is
no,
it,
it's
this about
just
to be
that
good?
I already know where this came from. So
Oh.
It says, let me look at you.
All right, like,
Hold on.
we're going to zoom.
Hold on.
I don't even know how I
think I'm scared.
I haven't experienced this yet, but I can tell you how I would deal with it. So it says, how do you deal with your child's disrespectful boyfriend or girlfriend in a grace-filled way?
On our
Okay,
next episode.
Sandra, you are wrong. Okay, we're going to say that right now. You are wrong to look at Sharita and call her out like that. Like, why, ma'am? Why?
On our next episode of Rooted and Raw.
We will have a new podcast host because
Listen.
Dee may not be able to open her mouth.
All right, let's repeat it one more time.
I don't think I'm going to talk the whole episode.
You got to, because I don't know that I can help. I don't know how much I can put in on this.
No, but
I
you can
haven't
tell us what you would do.
experienced it. Yeah, it's definitely like what I think I would do anyway. You know, it's one of those things. I read it and I realized, because my first thought was, oh no, we've done this one before, and then I was like, no. It was just a conversation that
we
we
done
had.
this.
That's why I thought we had done it.
Look, we ain't done this.
Okay, how do you deal with your child's disrespectful boyfriend or girlfriend in a grace-filled way? I think there's the key right there.
You
Grace.
go ahead and tell them to come
Oh.
pick you up and just put you in the jail. That way, just go ahead.
Sharita.
Go to jail.
That
Just
girl said the most
Don't
grace
collect
I got-
$200. Just go
Don't-
straight.
The
Don't
only
stop.
grace I
Just go
got
ahead
is
and go
to
to
just
jail.
go to jail.
Just go. Bye.
Definitely.
Brownies for my brownie.
Look, it can be very, very difficult because of course you want the best for your children. You know,
Yes.
you don't want them to having to be dealing with this, but at the same time, you know, like you have to let them make their own decisions.
Yep.
They do have to learn. Like one of the things that I've always my oldest, he's 18. He's about to go to UNC Charlotte, and you know I want him to make these mistakes now that he's in somewhat of a controlled environment. So you know, and my younger one who's 14, like I same too. You know, he's starting to date, and you know I want him to make this mistakes when it's under my roof, so that we can go through it, because the world is cruel.
That's good. That's good.
So now that my older one is leaving off, you know, he's still in this controlled environment in the university. He's still going to be able to make mistakes, but of course, you know, those same basic things, you know, being careful. I'm here. Like I always leave that door open. I am here if you want my suggestions, if you want to know, you know, from my personal experience. At the end of the day, though, they're going to have that last say. And all I can do is just pray to God that they make the right decision. If they don't, that they learn from it. And yes, it can be extremely
I'm wondering,
difficult.
though, if we're talking about disrespectful to the child or disrespectful to the parent.
Listen.
Look, they come hand in hand though, don't they?
So,
Like,
Yes, because like I've told
the
Alice,
sound
like
effects.
so my youngest, he just went recently on his first official date, and I do like the person that, you know, he's chosen, and I was like, yeah, you know, because that's kind of a representation of what I've taught you. So for you to bring someone home like that, like, okay, I approve, but at the end of the day, like, it's your decision. I'm gonna support you, or whatever the case may be. I am here for you, but you know, we're human. We make mistakes, and sometimes we may not be bringing that right person home.
so
yeah. I
go
have
ahead.
I have a question, because are we talking about adult children or
Yeah.
not adult children? Because the responses are very different.
Well, for me, it would have to be adult children because my kids ain't dating yet. So, like, I mean, I have an adult daughter.
Sure.
She's not dating right now. She's like, I'm good.
It's
I don't,
good, Jamie. You
she's
good.
very
Yeah.
much
You good,
like
Barbie.
I
You
don't.
good.
Yeah, Barbie
Yeah.
good because she's very much like I don't really got time for the drama of human beings. So I think I'm gonna just stick to myself. So if she
job,
would,
ma'am.
if we're talking about dating for her, then yes, my boys, I got a rule for them right now. We ain't dating until until you old enough and got it together enough to buy your own gifts. Because I'm not dating your girlfriend for you.
Right. Yeah, no, that looked like that looked like
I'm not
extra
dating your
work.
girlfriend for you.
Yeah, no, that looked like extra work to earn up for whatever it was you were trying to buy.
You want me to
But-
buy her a gift and take y'all? I'm gonna need you to be able to take her. I'm gonna need you to be able to pay. I don't want to. And I'm not knocking anybody who does it. I just don't
Yeah,
want to date your
that's-
girlfriend for you.
yeah,
I
no,
just don't.
No,
That's
because
right. That's for your family.
Yeah, because for me, like, I did buy this stuff. Like, hey, you want to
Yeah.
get her? That's good because I want to show him this is what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very like, no,
Yeah.
you know, like opening the doors. No, you're gonna be buying her ticket. You're gonna be buying the popcorn and stuff. But like I said, that's just me so that I can
Yeah.
show them
Absolutely.
How to do it? Yeah.
right.
All right, now, Sharita, in this moment of life, I got 2 adult kids. One of them's dating, and she's a doll. We like her. She's a doll. So I can't I can speak to previous experiences, but you are currently walking this out. And while you might joke about go to jail, we all know that that's really not what you're trying to do. No. So talk to us about how you're navigating this.
So
Gracefully.
let me start by saying
Gracefully, all right.
I had no grace in the beginning. None, because when the disrespect took place, and I don't have to name names to, anything like that, but when the disrespect took place,
Now, this disrespect is this disrespect towards you
it's
or towards
me.
your child?
So there is a mix. So there was disrespect on both sides, and so I had no grace. Grace went
Out the window.
all the
She
way.
said, Grace, who?
Grace went all the way out the
Grace?
Who
window.
is that? I ain't mad.
That's a concept, not a practice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the definition of the word at that moment. But I'll have to say that a lot of the disrespect, my son allowed it.
Ooh.
He allowed it.
I say, well,
and
dang.
I feel like she would not have thought that was okay had
good.
he said something. I ain't gonna say put her in her place, but had he said something, spoke up,
say
and
put her in her
addressed it.
place.
I mean, address it. Yeah.
Look, I'm all about the rights and everything else, but nah, like, you ain't gonna talk to my mama that way.
Right.
Period.
So you need to understand. Like,
So I believe that conversation should have and could have taken place, meaning me being someone who says I represent Christ. I should have had a conversation with her. And I should have addressed it properly, because what we not gonna do is go back and forth with children.
Period.
We're not gonna do it. I am a full grown woman. I paid the bills in my house, so I expect the rules that I lay out to be followed. There is no man in my house. There's no head of my house at the moment. So the rules I put out are the rules that I want followed by my children and anyone that
bring it.
my doorstep.
Right.
So once you come into my home, you are my child. So I'm going to treat you like I treat my children. And had I had a belt handy, I probably would have used it, And listen, I don't care how old they are. You ain't never too old to get a whooping.
Oh,
You're never too old to get a whooping.
rooted and wild, ladies and
Listen,
gentlemen.
I promise
Rooted
you.
and wild.
But anyway, the young lady is still in my son's life. And I believe avoidance at the moment is her journey. She's avoiding me.
Avoid it like the plague.
She's avoiding me, but believe it or not, like my son is actually has plans to marry this young lady, and thank God they have decided to wait. He's getting ready to leave. He's in the Navy, like I said, he's getting ready to go, and they have decided to wait. And listen, if this is who my son desires to wed and to be in his life, I am going to have to stay in prayer. I'm going to have to stay in prayer.
No, but for real.
That the Lord's will be done, not my own, not my own. Because if I had my way, then I would have my way. We're just going to leave that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
I want the Lord's will for my son's life. And I want the will for her life as well. By all means, I want her to prosper in every way. But yeah, to currently be going through this, it's a journey, and I have some moments. I have my moments, but I also have to realize I am a child of God, and I need to. There are things that I cannot do or say, and the Lord is working on me. I am under construction,
Amen.
and that is where I'm going to leave that.
Because the only thing you can't control is yourself.
Period.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that I wanted to say. I feel like that the more I object, I push him further and further in her direction. So I have to learn to shut my mouth, and I have to learn to stay out of their relationship because their relationship is no longer taking place in my home.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And unless it's in your home, because I don't really care how old you are. If you're in my house,
Right. So
it is what it is.
my son does not live in my house, so you are walking your lines. You make your rules right now, and since it's not taking place in my home, all I can do is watch and pray. That's all I can do. Because if I say don't do it, they're gonna he's gonna do what he want to do.
Right.
He makes his choices. He decisions that he make. He has the consequences and repercussions, the joys, the happy days of all of that. So that's what it is right now.
Well,
I love that.
I love that too. This is a hard one for me only because, like I said, I haven't had to actually walk this out. Jamie, we had a rule that Jamie wasn't allowed to date until she was 18. I say Jamie. That's the rule for all the kids, not just Jamie. This is the rule for the boys too. But Jamie, I say her specifically because she stayed in her mother's house, and her mom didn't have that rule.
Oh, okay.
So Jamie had a boyfriend at her mama's house at 16. And I told her straight up, I said, at your mama's house, he your boyfriend. At our house, he's your friend that happens to be a boy.
Right.
Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I can't do anything about the rules at your mama's house. I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
Like that's not my responsibility. I can't.
But,
But for me and my house, we will be 18.
yes.
We will be 18. And so when she was 16 and she came over and she was saying her boyfriend, and I was like, well, remember, he's your boyfriend at your mama house.
But he ain't that
But
young.
over here, he's just your friend that happens to be a boy. That's what we call him. Now, also, we got some rules, even with the friend who just so happens to be a boy.
Yup.
So, and it was actually helpful because she got to see him for who he was. So our rule of thumb was you can have a friend that you are compatible with that just so happens to be of the opposite sex.
Sure.
They don't have a title, but they're your friend. And they're allowed to come over, but there's some things that they have to do. First of all, they got to come over on a Sunday and go through a whole Sunday with us. That means you go into service, you're serving, and then when we're done, whatever we're doing after that, we going to grandparents' house, we eating at our house, we going to the Klingel-Smith house, you going to.
Whatever it is, yeah.
And what and you, because you have to see the fullness of who we are. You have to see the fullness of who we are, and you can't do that just by kikiing and kakaing at school. That's not. I don't care about what you're doing at school. That's
Right.
That's cute. That's adorable. But us as a family,
Because you said kiki and kaka.
Kiki and kaka all you want. That's cute. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. So that was the rule, and we gave him 3 chances. 3 strikes and you out.
Right.
3 strikes and you out. And it didn't take Jamie much convincing. She was like, well, you can't get with the program of my family, then
Then we
then we ain't
There
got
is no
nothing to talk
program.
about.
Yeah.
Right.
We ain't nothing to talk about.
What if that first strike is like 3 and 1?
Oh, you done, son?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's
3
easy.
strikes is 3 strikes.
And the strikes were only set in that particular situation for the fact that every time she made a plan with him to come over on Sunday and do Sunday's events with us. He said yes, and then Sunday came and he made some excuse. That was the 3 strikes. It wasn't that he did anything wrong. It was that she respected our rules. Shout out to Jamie
Yeah.
for being a respectful
Come on,
young
Barbie.
lady.
Come yes,
on.
ma'am.
Right? She respected our rules and went with it and was like, well, this is what my parents, and because she was, at the time, she was with us on the weekends for the most part, you don't have no excuse.
Yeah.
Right.
So on the weekends, when the weekends came in, she's setting it up all week for him to come to spend the Sunday with us, and then he's not doing it. Well, then at that point, we didn't have to tell her. She was like, yeah, I cut it off because he kept making excuses. And Daryl was like, yeah, well, at this point, nothing else for us to talk about. All we asked you to do
Was show
was
up,
come
man.
and spend time with us on a Sunday. Our
hang
Sundays
out.
are important for us.
Yep.
They're important for us. So we go to service, we serve, and we worship together. That is what we do as a family on Sunday. At our house, everybody got to serve somewhere, and then we go to service together. Even my kids, when they come to our house on the weekend, with kids, the boys' friends, when they come, you can't stay the night on a Saturday night if you can't go to church with us on Sunday morning and serve. Like, it just is what it is, because that's what we're going to do, which means everybody going to bed at a certain time because we getting up to go to service. Period. Right? So it was Jamie who then said, yeah, no, I had to cut him off because he kept flaking on our plans. That's my family's plans. Like, they're willing to give you a chance to be around,
Right.
and you didn't respect that.
And if I mattered, if this compatibility, to use your word, that we have matters, then it's going to be a priority for you to make it happen.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and she was too easy to oblige with. Like, I can get behind that, parents. So she calls us parental figures.
Yep. The parental units.
She's
love
like,
Jamie.
I know, that's my girl. She's like, I can get behind that. If this is what y'all saying he has to do to be around, then I'm here for it. Well, you flaked 3 times. Well, she ain't tried that too much more with anybody else. She's just like, ain't nobody got time for that. So now with the boys, Anthony came to me once. He's the youngest. He's 12 now. At the time, he might have been 11. He might have been 10. And he was like, can I have a girlfriend? And I was like, you can have a girl that's a friend,
But
but you can't have no girlfriend. What you know about a girlfriend?
Correct.
Why do you want her to be your girlfriend? Well, she's pretty. There's a lot of pretty
Really?
people in the world.
That's it.
There's a lot of pretty people in the world. I's pretty. You
Pretty
don't
on
want
the
me to be your
outside.
girlfriend? Like that? I need more than that. And he was like, well, like everybody has a girlfriend. I was like, well, you know, I ain't everybody's mama. So there we are.
that piece.
Well, there we are. And so I told him, I explained to him, and I explained to all of them, the reason why we are saying that you have to be 18 is because you need to be able to understand the responsibility that comes with having a title like boyfriend or girlfriend. That's good. You don't understand that. You don't understand what comes with that. When she starts acting crazy because she's a female, she will. You don't understand how to handle that. So you ain't gonna do nothing but make the situation worse. I'm not about to do this with you. So when you're 18, and if you want to have a girlfriend, then you can. Understand though, if you're 18 and you in my house, it's still my rule.
Still my
It's still my rules. When you get up out of here and you paying your own bills and you got your own job and you spending your own coins, you can do whatever you so choose.
Yeah.
But at 18, you can have a girlfriend at my house under my rules. So that means there's things you can't do, like go off with her by yourself because you a boy and she a girl. And we live in a fallen world.
And we don't play those games.
And we don't play them games.
So what's funny to me is, so like I said, I have 5 children. The oldest 3 get mad with the youngest 2 because they always saying they not listening, they not doing this, they not cleaning up their room. And I always look at them and I be like, listen, how you expect them to follow my rules if they watching you not follow the rules? They are paying attention to what y'all do. And if you walking around here taking your time about cleaning up your room, picking up a little bit, but you ain't fully doing it because you think your game is more important, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to sit here and do exactly what they see you doing and then me, mom, this is where I'm going to chastise myself. I wasn't quick with my responses and my reactions as I should have been, because a lot of the time I went through a phase of shutting down, and I would just sit, watch, and now I'm to the point if I have to get this close to your face, it's not much talking we're doing now, because you need to do what I say when I say it, not when you feel like it. So I don't know what child, boyfriend, girlfriend is going to respect the parent if they see you not respecting your parents. I always believed they say
she's not wrong. Like 100%, she's not wrong.
And I sit up here and I always tell my daughter, I tell my daughters, you will know how a man will treat you by the way he treats his mother. If he respects his mother, he's going to 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, because there's those
9
situations.
times
We
out
have
of
those
10.
outliers.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
9 times out of 10, they are going to respect you. So I tell them, watch, because that was a red flag I should have paid attention to. We ain't got to talk about that.
Okay.
But
you
got to pay attention to it. If you want them to respect you, your children, they need to respect you. They need to follow your rules. Nobody outside of your home is going to respect you if your own children are not respecting you.
You
That's
stole
real.
the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say, like, we need to understand that piece of, if our children are not respecting us, the people that they bring home are going to see that and think that that's okay. But also, on the other side of that, young people who, mainly young people, because this is really who this pertains to, but young people who are looking to be in dating relationships and you disrespect your mama, understand that 9 times out of 10, that person that you are dating has been told exactly what Sharita tells her girls, in that, look at the way they treat their mama, because that's how they're going to treat you. And it's not just for boys, it's for girls too,
Yes.
right? Like, young men, how does she talk to her mama? Because I guarantee you she'll talk to you that way too.
Come on.
Exactly.
So you need to understand, if you're disrespecting your parents, that significant other is watching that. And for the ones that are raised well, they're going to walk away because, I'm not having it. So if you want quality, be quality. All right.
Wow.
So understand that piece of it. Like, that's important.
And to our mamas, our kids are kids, so they only gonna do what we allow them to do.
Exactly.
They gonna only do what we allow them to do.
Yep.
So if we want them to do different, we gotta show them what we will and will not tolerate.
Correct.
And we gotta stand solid on our word. Laura Fletcher used to say all the time, "Don't say it if you're not gonna do it."
Like
Don't
make a
say
believer
it.
out of
I
them.
went through that. I did that.
Believer out of them.
I would say that
did
to
that.
anybody, though, not just our children.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Make a believer out of it, and this is not in a way of abuse or anything.
No.
Please don't be out here abusing your children. Talking about Rooted and Raw told me to abuse them. We ain't said
That's
that.
no.
Don't
that's
be
not what
lying
we
on
said.
us.
Keep
Don't-
your hands
Keep-
to yourself.
Period.
That piece.
But she said very specific. She said a lot of times the reason why kids don't listen to their parents is because parents will say, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. But then when they do it, then you don't do what you said you going to do. And you ain't making a believer out of them. So why they going to follow your rules?
Correct.
That's why my
So-
youngest one try me now. That's why she try me now. Because like I said, I got stagnant. I would sit and I would say that if you don't stop, I'm going to do this. If you don't be quiet, I'm going to do that. And then they keep right on. And then today, we was face to face.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, listen,
Look at here, Linda.
we this close. My hands are going to do the talking, not my mouth. So, and then she didn't believe me, and she tried me, and
Oh, well,
bam, and
yeah.
then she wanted, why
You
you
did some
hit
talking.
me?
Yeah. Well,
Listen.
yeah, I gave you a fair
I
warning.
gave you the warning.
I gave you a warning. I remember she said, don't, not Mariah, Laura. She said, don't be talking about you gonna knock their head off their neck, because are you really willing to do that?
Right. Right.
Are you really? But I mean, think about it for real. We can't be out here threatening things we ain't really willing to do.
Right.
You
Right.
can't say I'm gonna knock your head off your neck if you do da 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 da. Because are you actually willing to do that?
Listen,
Right. But I can say if you don't stop,
Uh-huh.
you are going to regret
There it is.
your actions and reap every piece of the consequences.
I was listening.
And I promise
to,
imaginations are a lot stronger than what I'd probably
Well,
do.
That's really good. I was listening to a book, Your Teen Isn't Crazy. I can't remember what that's
Yes,
the name
yes,
of
it
it.
is.
Said that, yeah. And they were saying in the book, they said, where we mess up as parents is we tell them exactly what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you need
Surprise
to just
'em.
tell them, if you don't, there's a consequence.
That's
Now
it.
they got to figure, now they got to play guesstimate. Because see, when you tell them, if you don't stop, I'm going to take your phone. They get to now waver whether or not they want to deal with the consequence. Is this thing that I want to do more important than me having my phone?
Right.
But if you say, like what you just
and
said,
I got a tablet,
Jamie,
so my phone is good. It can go.
yeah. If you
Exactly.
say that, if you say if you don't stop, there's consequences, or like you said, like if you don't tell them, you just tell them there's a consequence coming. Then
won't
they
know.
don't have anything to compare that to, so they don't know what's gonna happen. Now you haven't professed to do something that you're not willing to do,
Not giving them the opportunity to think ahead
and they
of
not.
what.
That's
Right.
right. We gotta get on a level because
Right.
no.
Well,
they-
no. We don't operate on their level, because if we operate on their level, they're going to run circles around us.
Yeah, well, that's
right.
true.
We have to operate on our level because we are fully formed, thinking, rationalizing human beings, which means that we can play the chess game a whole lot better than they can.
Well, I mean more like we got to think on their level, because the way their brains are, they, especially this new age kid, right? Like they got a little bit more, these new kids different.
He different.
They out here. These new kids different out
they
here.
are.
Y'all laughing because it's true. These new
Yeah.
kids different, and I'm just like, I'm
Look,
looking
one
at.
thing I do know, take out the electricity, anything electronics, it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
I have no life.
Here you go. There's your life right there.
Read
right
this
there. Read a book. Read a book.
Y'all, we 43 minutes in. Ooh-wee. Well, this was a fun topic.
Oh,
It was.
God.
This
It was fun. I
this
like
was
this
fun.
one. All right, let's
I
do
don't think
our,
I'm laughing.
It be like that sometimes,
Ooh.
sis. But we got your back.
Yeah, we do.
We got
Yeah,
your
we
back.
do.
All right, let's start with you, Flora. That last thought.
Well, my last thought, because my kids are youngins, and even though my oldest is 18, he's 18-ish. He just turned 18.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It hasn't settled yet.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
No, not one bit. But what I would say is that all I can do is just lead by example and try to show them and correct them. So if they do failed, I do let them know the why behind the what and what other options they do have. So I do welcome and accept all the failures that they do while they're living with me, to help them understand and hopefully pray that they would make better decisions once they live out of my house.
It's good.
That's good.
It's good.
My mom gave me one piece of advice when I was pregnant with my oldest son, Tony. And she said, nobody likes a nasty child. They can be cute as they want, but nobody likes a nasty child. And she's not wrong, right?
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. So ensure that your children respect you. And that they respect themselves. Because if they respect themselves, they respect you, they're not going to keep people who are disrespectful
Around them.
That's
good.
Yeah.
So do that for them, and it's going to pay back in spades.
That's a word.
That's a whole word.
I like it.
Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not part. What that means to me is that as a child, they are going to test and try you, but keep praying, stay rooted, stay grounded in the Word of God, training them up in the way to go. That means that they are going to make their own decisions. That means that they are going to go their own way. But guess what? The Lord gonna bring them right back around to the right thing. Eventually, it's gonna happen. They're gonna turn around. So don't stop praying for your kids. Don't stop covering them in prayer. Don't keep them in church. My child told me that the only thing that they regret about their childhood, because I asked them, am I a bad mom? And they was like, I never let them go to their friends' houses, and I kept them in church all the time. Amen. I did my job.
Okay.
Yo.
But did you
If
die?
that's
though?
all you're upset about, I did my
Did you
job.
die? Did you go to jail?
Come
Did
on.
you get kicked out of
Come on.
school?
Come on.
Good.
If it's a no to all those, then case closed.
I
Yeah.
did my job.
Yeah. Dang, that's good. I would say I'm going back to the do as I say and as I do. Whenever we think about our kids and them and who they are, we've got to be in a place where we are ready to walk out the example of who we want them to be in the fullness of who
that's
they
good.
are.
That's good.
I can't say that I have always done life well. But since I've been a mom, for the most part, give or take, them earlier years was a struggle. But for the most part, that is one thing that I feel like I have really, really tried is I'm gonna lead by example, but I'm also going to explain to you why I ain't playing with you.
Come on. We ain't playing.
Why I ain't playing with you.
We ain't about them games.
Mainly because I don't have to.
Correct.
See, I've done the life thing. I'm this house you live in is because I pay bills.
Right.
Because I've actually made moves and succeeded in this world, this thing we call life. I've actually done some things. Yeah, so you gotta get with the program.
Right.
You got to. So, but I don't just say it. And I think communication is key in that. Having those conversations with our kids. Because I don't have to explain anything to you. I choose to when I want to. Now, sometimes it's just it is what it is because I said
Right.
so.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm here to, who said it? Somebody said the why behind the what. I'm here for giving you the why behind the what. But there are times when you don't need that. You just need to know I have your best interests at heart. I was given you from God to steward you. So you're gonna have to be okay with the fact that God chose me for you. If you don't like that, you need to take that up with him.
Yeah.
What's that verse? Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Ain't nothing.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, it's
The book of
like
Ecclesiastes.
kids today act like we were never children. They act like we didn't do anything. We ain't been through nothing. Everything that they're doing is new. They came up with it. No.
And the other part of that is they need to remember too that they're living in a much better circumstance than what we did,
But
because
for real.
we could be
For real.
to them the parents that we had. See, Mhm.
That hit different.
I just got scared.
That hit different.
Like we could be to them the parents that we had, and so
I'm so lucky.
Like, I told my boys, you don't like me as a mom, you can go ahead and get yourself another mom and see how you like it.
like the change in life that Jesus gives is real, and the way I parent is the testament to that. 100%. I didn't get abused as a kid. My parents didn't abuse me, but there are things, and I could have been that one. But anyway, so yeah, it's a whole thing. But we have to model the way, right? Do as I say and as I do. So you're going to see me be respectful. You're going to see me demand respect.
Come on.
In all the circles that I walk in, right? That's my marriage.
Period.
That's my work, my interactions with the world. I'm going to be respectful, and I'm going to demand respect, which means that anybody you bring into my house,
They will respect me.
they're going to have that same level of respect. If not, then you and I one-on-one are going to have a conversation. You're going to hear every piece about how I feel about it.
Yep.
This is good.
Wow.
right.
Well,
Oh, that's 50.
yes, 50. So all the things, subscribe, follow anywhere you get this content from. We're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts, and we're on Spotify. We also have Rooted and Raw Podcast. That's Instagram, and Rooted and
That
Raw
was TikTok.
25 at Rooted and Raw 25 is Instagram.
Rooted and Raw Podcast is
TikTok.
TikTok. And then we have Rooted and Raw Podcast at gmail.com as our place where you can email us. We're so grateful for everything you've done. We are out until the next time. Stay rooted, stay raw.